Hello, everybody. Well, nobody rather. Welcome to my stream. Today we're going to be eating cheese balls while looking at maybe roasting the Unicode character set, which is these guys, and on and on and on until about here. All of this and more to come. Yeah, that's right. There's multiple versions of the Latin alphabet in all of these different character sets. We've also got some missing characters. I might poke around and try and figure out how that works too. Excuse me. Ooh, what cool numbers those are. Oh wait, no, those aren't numbers. Those are like kana or something. Okay. Let's let's crack open the cheese balls. I've got a udon bowl here from one of those udons you get at the store. I dropped one already. Okay. So yeah, cheese ball. It's morning for me. I was going to do this last night, but some things happened. What do I care? Nobody's even watching this. Okay, so the beginning. This is and basically my setup here. I am in Emacs. This is the Unicode character set, unicode-bmp. And for anyone else who wants to follow along, the way that you get this in your Emacs. Let me just eShell. Oh wait, no, I've already got something running in eShell. Let me do a vterm. Let me do a vterm here, which is slightly broken because of course it is. But we're just going to go Emacs-Q. That doesn't work. We're going to... Hang on. User, wait, local bin, because that doesn't work. User local bin. Max Q full screen. There we go. So for anyone who wants to follow along, you just go. Oh, I was trying to plus, and then I realized that you can't plus when your shortcut doesn't work. So we're just going to go down here and do meta x list char set list char set characters and enter, and then the character set we're going to do is unicode-bmp, and then type return, and then you get this big window here with this very, very long, very many characters, and then you can just blow that up using the text scale increase if you know the shortcut for that, which I don't on vanilla Emacs. So let's just cancel out of that, and let's just go back to the character list buffer here, and just get into it. So if you're not familiar with Unicode, the basic idea is that different countries, different localities would use different numbers to represent letters at one point in time, and sometimes they overlapped. Sometimes standards organizations didn't agree on what letter should be represented by what number, and so they came up with the Unicode Consortium to find every letter and then map it to map each letter to a unique number, so that everything that's remotely anything like a letter or a symbol used in writing would have its own unique code point. And there's different Unicode encodings. UTF-8 is the good one. Windows uses UTF-16 because so I think Java does too, because Java. Anyway, that's kind of what's going on. Let me put the cheese balls more Where can I put them that's like front and center, but also not in the way? There we go. Oh, there we go. That's not much better. So Unicode is, it's all the symbols. Wait. Hey Sam, thanks. Yeah, it's just the default. Let me see the default. It's not the default GNOME sound, but it's one of the GNOME sounds because Emacs on GNOME uses the GNOME sound by default, I guess, as its bell. I turn it off on my own customization because I don't like hearing or seeing the bell. There is a visual bell mode you can enable, but again, I don't like it, so what are you going to do? So, anyway, we have the first half of the first page of Unicode is this thing called ASCII, the American Standard Code for Information Interchange, I believe is what it stands for. And that is this region here that I have highlighted. And these are the keys on your keyboard, or on my keyboard at least. I'm an American. I have an American keyboard. Well, roughly American. It is technically America. That I'm in. Anyway, by the way, this keyboard is, I don't know what the model number is exactly, but it's a Logitech K750, that's what it is. It's got these solar panels on it. It's really thin, but it's like oddly heavy for its size. And it's got these little kickstands. I can't show you there. Trust me, it has a little kickstand, so it kind of stands up. But anyway, I just like these keyboards. I like the feel. I like the feel of the keyboard. It's the perfect blend of being smooth and actually like having some weight to the keys there. It's not a particularly professional, though an office that I worked at did have one. But yeah, that's what that is. They're good. There are other keyboards that some people say are good. I think mechanical keyboards are a psyop, but that's just me. Anyway, we've gone too long without talking about Unicode or cheese balls. So let me eat a cheese ball. And let's get to the Unicode. So in the ASCII character set, obviously we've got our letters. And our various simple symbols here. These guys on the keyboard, and lowercase letters. You'll notice that the lowercase letters are they match with their uppercase counterparts, as in capital C and lowercase c are 2 bytes two digits off basically from each other. The reason for this is because what it means is you only have to change 1 bit to do binary searches, which was a big deal back in the old days when grep took time to run. Nowadays it doesn't matter that much, but part of the reason it doesn't matter so much is because they got it right the first time. And there's lots of little cool things you can kind of see with that when you go into it. You notice above here we have these control codes. This is how Emacs represents showing control codes with the C dash prefix. Various control codes respond to different things. For example, this is escape, but escape is also control open bracket. The square bracket is the counterpart of this guy, which you'll notice is the same as this line down here. That's because the control bit and the shift bit are kind of alike in a way. And then control K, control L, and Control M correspond, and return correspond to K, L, and M. Because a return is a Control M, of course, and a tab is a Control I. Again, GHI, Control G, Control H, Control I. Let's see if there's any other ones. Nope, those are the main ones. But yeah, at one point, all of these did something, and they kind of still do, because terminals have to be compatible with old software that uses them. And Emacs, as kind of an everything program, does everything. So it has them, and it has them separate, and it reads them as the same, which is a little bit confusing until you remember that you don't have to think about it, and then you can stop thinking about it, and it's fine. Finally, we have the all zeros character, the null, or the delete, right at the end of the box, right at the very end of this this half of Unicode, of ASCII rather. That being the delete character, which is pretty easy for computers to recognize because it's all zeros. Zeros and ones, that's kind of the deal. Okay. I was checking if there was a different thing happening, but there wasn't. Nobody said anything in chat. As soon as I said that, somebody's going to say something, aren't they? Okay, so next we have these guys, and I'm not sure what these are. This is how Emacs represents them, by the way, as separate characters, just like it does with the D, E, and L and delete. So, yeah, I think these are similar to the control codes in that they kind of don't quite have a place in this first code page here. This is the 8th bit of ASCII. Okay, hello, Mitchell, fellow Mitch. Welcome. Okay. Eating cheese ball. And next we have the kind of leftover symbols that it seemed like a good idea to include, but didn't make the cut for ASCII itself, which is such as the, I'm not sure what this character is, but it's something. I found this website where I did a second of Googling, not Googling, but like Brave search technically, and it tells you what Unicode characters are. Okay, so it looks like it's a non-breaking. Oh, that's a non-breaking space. Hey, I love non-breaking space. So non-breaking space is a fun one because it makes things. No, that's the zero with joiner I'm thinking of. Non-breaking space basically means it's a space that you can put between words or between characters, and it'll never cause a line break, even if it should. Though that might not work for some applications. Like I don't know how well that works with, say, Emacs if you enable visual line wrap or whatever it is. Non-breaking space, though, pretty cool character. It's in HTML if you want and stuff. Upside down exclamation mark, useful for writing Spanish. They got a cents sign, which is the American currency that nobody uses because it's too small. The British pound. I looked this guy up earlier, but I already forgot what it was. I think it's some sort of currency, right? So we just go in here and we paste that. And we press enter and we wait for it. Let me see. 0084. It is a currency sign for a European number terminator. Okay, any Europeans in chat gotta let me know if that is a thing or not. I don't know if it is. It's a cool looking character though. I've never really seen it used, oddly enough. Pretty sure that's a yen. And then we have this guy, the broken pipe. I don't know what that's what it's called, but that's what it looks like to me, so that's what I'm calling it. We can look this up too. What is it called? It's called a broken bar. Okay, I was close. A broken bar. And then we've got this guy, which is like, it's something. You can see it in, I've seen it in legal documents. I think it's a citation marker or something. Then we have the standalone umlaut, the copyright symbol. This floating small a, let me see what the floating small a is called. This is so interesting. It is a feminine ordinal indicator. I'm not even going to touch that one. Then we have the little double French quotes, and I believe this is a... I don't believe that's a box drawing character, even though it looks like one. Let me see what it is. Okay. Okay, apparently it's a not sign. Whatever that means. And then we have... what is this guy? It's blue to cyan rather, to represent that it's kind of weird. So I assume it's some sort of joiner or space, and it is a soft hyphen. How does a soft hyphen? What's the deal with soft hyphens? String stuff. Emoji. Unicode. Okay, this website has a lot of stuff on it that I don't understand. But it is a soft hyphen apparently. Then of course we have the registered trademark symbol, the overline, the degree sign, plus or minus, great character by the way. Superscript 2, superscript 3. A back quote that goes the other way because a normal back quote points up to the left. So this, I guess, is a front quote as opposed to a back quote. Weird. Then the Greek letter mu, which I guess in this case is supposed to stand for micro, or for other things that are abbreviated with mu because physics and mathematics haven't worked out which letter does what. Then the paragraph symbol. I don't know about you, but I always wrote this backwards in school as like a normal P with two stalks. Then this middle thing, which is used for some things, including as like a times symbol. If you want to be, if you're using X and you want to times things, you can put this in between them. And I don't know what that is. It looks like a comma, but it's clearly not a comma. It's not an... Okay, so we're going to just enter that. What is it? It is called a cedilla, and it is a modifier. And I kind of want to see... Oh, yeah, it's confusable with a comma. That makes sense. Then a superscript 1, which is not along with the 2 and the 3 for some reason. I don't know why. Then, of course, a superscript O with an underline, and the other double French quote. And here we have the only fractions that exist: 1/4, 1/2, and 3/4. Some people may tell you that there are other fractions that you can have, but they're wrong. These are the only ones. See, they're in they're in the second page of Unicode. There, that's the fractions. That's all of them. Upside down question mark, again useful for writing Spanish, and then all of the different diacritics you can put on top of A. And again, we have that repeated down here too for the other ones. And Beloved Ash, I believe is what this character is called, the AE. I only know it's called Ash because it's part of Elon Musk's child's name. XAsh-A12, I think is how you say it. Which is silly and dumb because Elon Musk is silly and dumb, but hey, whatever works for him, I guess. And the C with this guy on there, I'm seeing it now. Haha, C. This is a different letter in some languages, apparently. You know, it blows my mind how, like, what clearly to me look like just are letters with some symbol on top of them, like these O's here. In like Swedish or Norwegian or whatever, these are like completely different letters that are in a different place in the alphabet. It's like, I guess, I don't know though, because like what would I'm like having a crisis trying to explain how I'm thinking about this, but like, so if the ancient Greeks were to see no, I can't think of what the difference would be there, the letter difference. But like O and Q are different letters, and we know that they're different letters, and it's obvious to us that they're different letters because that's how we've always learned it. But I mean, a Q is just an O with a little tail on it, right? The little tail that's not a letter. You could, and this is yeah, it's weird. There's a great talk I saw a while back. I'm not gonna. Actually, I will. I'll just I'll go to YouTube here. Don't look at my recommended, please. Oh, look, it's my own stream. Unicode, plain text. There it is. That's the one. It's the. Which one is shortest? This one is good. Okay, so I'm going to take this and I'm going to share it with the copy link function, and I'm going to delete that page, and I'm going to go to my. Okay, thanks. I'm glad you understand. There's a better. If you want to watch something that takes time but isn't bad, unlike this, my stream, which is bad, you can go watch that. It's like an hour-long talk about code and stuff about Unicode. Cheeseball. So these things are made out of corn, right? Yeah. Ingredients: cornmeal, vegetable oil, there's a whole bunch of different vegetable oils that could be in it. Cheese seasoning, which has a whole bunch of parentheticals. Are they even allowed to do that? They got all these parentheticals in the ingredients. I don't know how well you can see that there. Probably not very. No, it's coming out. It's coming out right. But let me just make MPV front center there, so it's a little easier. Whatever. They've got a whole bunch of parentheticals in the ingredients list, and I just think that's kind of weird. By the way, yes, these are Signature Select cheese balls. It's the Safeway brand. Well, over here we don't call it Safeway because there was a local chain that they bought called Cars with 2 R's, and Safeway kind of bought them out, and then they just call it Cars Safeway themselves, but everybody here calls it Cars because that's what it is. I mean, just the fact that it operates identically to any other Safeway in the country it's a coincidence. It doesn't matter. Now we've got the weird ones. This is a thorn, I believe. This is a long S. It's used in some Germanic languages. Then, of course, the lowercase versions of those guys that we mentioned up here. I don't know what those are. Why do these need to How did I think this stream was gonna work? Come to think of it, like, I'm not roast. Like, I don't want to be inaccurate with my roasts, and my problem with Unicode is kind of a silly one, because you scroll down a little bit. By the way, yeah, I'm missing some fonts. I don't know what these characters are, and I don't care. How's that for a roast? There's so many characters. Whatever. Look. Oh wait, no, that's just the page marker layout. But I was gonna say, because you get a little lower down here, and we start running into the same things again in a little bit here. Look at these guys. These letters. These are obviously from the Latin alphabet. Why are they down here like this? What is this ordering? We've got triangles. Okay, those are cool. I don't know whose triangles these are, and I don't want to roast any particular, or I don't want to diss rather any particular person or group of people or culture or country. These symbols look cool, and if you can write with them, power to you. But does anybody make keyboards with these? Like really though? So here's kind of an interesting section. These characters here, apparently, I think some of these are runes, but some of them, or there's one around here somewhere that I forget which one it is, but nobody knows where it came from, and they just kind of, somebody added it at some point and it just never got removed. I don't remember which one it is. I wish I could find it. There was a video about it way back in the time. I saw. Oh well. If anybody has seen the video, I think it's from Veritasium or something about the Unicode character. You can drop it in the chat, and YouTube will delete it because they don't like spam. But that's just how it goes, So we got these missing code pages. See, if these characters were important, wouldn't they be pre-installed in my system? There we go. Logic statements. Thorn. Okay, yeah. Okay, thanks, Mitchell. Is that how you say it, by the way? I don't know, because my name is spelled like that, but with two L's, so I don't know how one L changes it. So is this just a UE? Like, what is going on here? And these guys are oh, what did I just do there? Let me I can't control G out of that. I don't know what happened there. I got apparently I asserted ownership, so I need to unassert. There we go. I just alt-click drags. Okay, thanks, Mitchell, for the clarification. Yeah, it's weird. Sometimes people will spell my name with one L, and so I remind them two L's, and then they put three L's. Or actually, no. I think what happened was I told them three L's just to be safe, and then they actually did put three L's. What are you going to do? Excuse me here. But yeah, look at all these little letters here. Couldn't there be some other way of doing this? What is the point in having these? Like, they're literally just. If I yoink this letter and I go to the scratch buffer and I paste it, see how tiny that is compared to the rest of the buffer? It's like a superscript of a superscript. I don't know how to do how to insert a superscript, but it's very clearly very, very small. Maybe it's an alphabet or an alpha. Alpha bit. Because it's like the bit that's an alpha. Okay. Okay. Sorry. No, that's good. Why am I apologizing for laughing? Oh no! Look at all these. Look at all of these. All of these. Oh look! When I select them, they get smaller. How do you figure that? How do they get smaller when you... These are getting smaller when I select them. I think that's just got to do with the way that Emacs deals with... It's got to be the way Emacs deals with diacritics. But what that means is that Emacs is drawing the diacritics differently based on whether they're selected or not. So you can see with this U right there, when I select it, these are like square, but then when I unselect it, they're round. So something has gone weird in the way that that it's displaying these guys. Like I can just go down there and it takes up less space on the page, which is a cool effect if you ask me. It kind of feels like nothing changed at all. Check my. Sorry, I've got two monitors open, and on the other monitor, I've got OBS here, but if I go to my second workspace on my other monitor there, I have a task manager or resource monitor, whatever you want to call it. And my CPU is hovering around like 30%, but when I did when I did this, it jumped up to like 60, so I'm going to not do that as much. Because I do need to stream still. But yeah, I find it like, look how many marks are stacked. Wait, if I, oh, like literally that is an O. It looks more like a 0 with this angle, but when I actually, wait, no, hang on. If I go to Scratch and I just paste that here, what does it steal? No, it's a legitimate letter, but it looks different. Also, check out my line numbers that get cut off. The reason they get cut off is because I don't know how to make them not cut off, because I had to like hack this. The line number thing is weird. No, never mind. This isn't about line numbers right now. Anyway, like that has two different diacritics on that. Couldn't they have combined that? That's all I'm saying. I mean, they've got separate things for the diacritics, and like they've got zero-width joiners. You can just string them on ad nauseum. That's how the all those copy pastas where the marks like go off the page in weird ways and the break that people will put in comment sections. That's how those works. That's how those work. But yeah, these guys are kind of interesting though. I don't know what this letter is called. It's like a U with a thingy on it. It's a terrible description, but you can't stop me, because only I can stop me. Latin capital with a horn and an acute. Okay, so the top thing is the acute and the side thing is the horn, and all of these guys can have a horn. But is that horn the same as the horn that this eye has, I wonder? Somehow I doubts it, but it's also kind of close for it to not be. So I'll paste that in. With the hook, so that's a hook, which is different from a horn. See, the hook replaces the I dot. Who ever needed these symbols? Like, can't you just use the Latin alphabet or use something else? That's kind of where I am with that. Ooh, but we have now we have all the Greek letters with those diacritics, and again I'm missing some, and a bunch of brokenly printing control characters, and some more symbols. Now some of these symbols are kind of fun. We have our backwards paragraph symbol, which is the one that I would write in literature class instead of the one you're supposed to write. Now we've got these quotation marks that programs like Microsoft Word replace actual quote marks with, or ASCII quote marks rather, that break stuff. We got our classic little cross and double cross, and vertical parentheses. What are these called actually? I'm curious now. Like, it's cool, don't get me wrong, but why would you need, it's called a close-up. Or close-up? Oh look, none of these are, we broke it, we broke the site. Oh look, it just, the URL is literally like that, so we could, if we wanted, make a little Emacs package that just queries this website and puts it in an org buffer or something. That's a fun project that I'm not going to do. Yeah, same. So, there's 3 and there's 4. I don't know what the... Like, don't get me wrong, it's cool that these symbols exist in there. And, like, the double question mark that takes up 1 space, that's a neat character. The double exclamation mark, that's cool. Under parenthesis, over parenthesis, percent sign with an extra 0 or 2 on the bottom. That's neat. But then you get stuff like this. Small zeros. We've got 2 small zeros that are right on top of each other. 2 small 4s. Two small 5s. What is the deal with any of these guys? You know, these are literally just the same character twice. And I think that's... I do think that is weird and doesn't really make sense. Now what else do we have? Got some other alternate currency symbols, it looks like. I've got some broken ones. I really do, that Emacs uses these symbols to display the broken Unicode characters with a little box and the number of it. 20C6 in here. That's appreciated, because you can actually tell what it was supposed to be, and then you can look it up, like say over here, and know that for sure. And we've got some more characters. We've got our little under arrows. I guess those are fine. Degrees Celsius is a character now, apparently. And now it comes to, oh look, there are more fractions. I lied earlier, sorry. I said that there weren't any fractions other than 1/2, 1/4, and 3/4. But that's a lie. There's also 1/3, 2/3, 1/5, 2/5, 3/5, 4/5, 1/6, 5/6, 1/8, 3/8, 5/8, and 7/8. And 1/9, and 1/7, and 1/10. Those exist too. Also, that pie looks rad. Tell me that pie does not look rad, and tell me that with a straight face. Doesn't this pie symbol just make you want a piece of it? I don't know. But that's what it is. Also, this M. I want, at this point, I'm just collecting characters and putting them in my scratch buffer here. But isn't that? I know that it's not defined as a variable. So, but if we put a question mark in it, eLisp will tell me it's an 8499, which is 2133 in the copy left. I don't know what that looks like, Mitch. I'm gonna have to find it, or Mitchell, sorry. So weird having someone with the same name as you. Copy left symbol. I can't imagine it's not in there because everything is there. It's 1F12F. Wait. 1F12. I don't know where it definitely is. I'm not sure where it is though. Let me actually just real quick copy this guy. I'll copy this and then I'll search for it. What? It doesn't have what? How is it not in there? We do have the copyright symbol. So I'd find it really weird if it weren't in there. What is the 00? It's different from the copyright. Okay, as of 2009, it wasn't there. Unicode 11 in 2018, it got added apparently. 1F12F, but that is of course in hex, which is different from how it shows in 127279 in decimal, maybe 1271. No, I don't recent edition. Yeah, but Emacs is my system's mostly up to date. This is Emacs 30. I built it from source like 2 weeks ago. It should all just be here. Like it's a massive table of things. Maybe I'm just missing the particular, but I'm not though, because if I go over here and I paste it, you see it shows in here. And if I ask Emacs what number it is, it's 1F12F or 127279. So it's there somewhere, just not. You're just not finding it. Maybe this buffer like lazy loads itself. Anywhere. Where was I before? I don't know. The evil mark is broken. I don't know how to use it. Those are not the same thing. But in fact, if you press space in this buffer, it just goes down a bit. So you can look at, hey, more Latin letters that are weirdly mangled in a different shape for no apparent reason. That are, I mean, I get why they do it. It's so it fits better into scripts as like loan letters, but come on. More diacritics that shrink the page again. Those are fun. Wait, were we here before? Yeah, because these are the quotes in the backwards, the forwards paragraph sign. Okay, I ended up higher up somehow, and we got the fractions. Yeah, Roman numerals. Now, I actually love that they have the Roman numerals here, or at least some of them, a bunch of them, as their own characters, like completely separate from the letters, because Roman numerals are supposed to be connected like this. And if you look at some like Roman tombstones and stuff, they would like combine the letters. They use ligatures like in the stone. So writing 4 as IV is just a little bit silly, but it always feels like not perfect, but that's good that there's actually is a 4 symbol there. That's nice. I like that. Lowercase Roman numerals, though, I don't care. They don't need to exist. They shouldn't exist. Why would you ever need lowercase Roman numerals? Also, these are literally just They're not literally just, but they're practically just. If I do VIII, see how similar those are. See their similarity. If I were to make this smaller somehow, or blow it up, they're just so similar. So I don't quite see the point. I've got a few broken characters here, upside down 2, and 0 out of 3. That's another fraction that exists. Separate place from all the other fractions, though. We can't have them getting too close. Yeah, 0 out of 3. And a whole bunch of arrows. These arrows are also pretty cool, but I mean, I don't know. Do these arrows like mean different things in flowcharts? Because if not, like, why do you have so many arrows? And I guess these are integrals. I guess that's, what is this? 3/4 of infinity. And then we got. Oh no, our first emoji. Just a second. And I get a couple cheese balls for that one. You know, it doesn't really work to be talking and eating at the same time. It's like not a thing that people are supposed to do. It's like kind of the opposite. Oh look, tic-tac-toe. It is weird seeing them, isn't it? Because like, it's been all this color with the occasional cyan weird printing character, and then the watch emoji, and they're just like out of nowhere too. Well, not quite out of nowhere actually, because this is where we get into more pictographs and stuff. We've got triangles inside squares. We've got arrows and squares. We've got thin brackets. We've got the delete key right there, you see, and all of these things that you could imagine that some math professor just wanted in there so they didn't have to draw it every time. And it looks like these are box drawing characters. I don't know that they are, though, because didn't we have those earlier on? I thought we did. Hang on. Let me look this up. This is a left square bracket, lower corner. Oh! So these are for like math giant, like if you're doing like multi-line math stuff, with when you've got equations that take up multiple lines, you can have multiple line brackets. And of course the beginning of the root symbol. I don't say square root, I say square root, but a friend of mine would say it as root, I guess. Root, I don't use that phoneme for anything else, so it's kind of. It's a convenient way to say it, I guess. Root. And then we've got more emojis. This would be good if there was like a radio or something for Emacs, which there totally is, but I'm pretty sure that's not how it works. More times than... Wait, was this hourglass the same? No, because this is an empty hourglass, and this is a halfway full hourglass. That's fun. And we've got all these different styles of. I guess this is a clock, this is a timer, this is a stopwatch, and this is a timer. Okay. Still though, we got some missing ones here. So is that supposed to be? If I zoom in again, it's going to get all. No! Look at that! Look at this guy. Am I a software engineer? No, I'm not. Technically, I'm just I'm just in this all for fun. I just think computers are cool, and I want to know everything about them. That's where I am with that. I wouldn't mind software engineering if it weren't for all the bad parts of it. I go on r/programmer humor, and I understand like 90% of the stuff there. Because frankly, all the stuff on there is like basic programmer stuff. But whatever. Yeah, no, it's not a big deal. I don't know what these stand for, but it's cool that they're there, I guess. Then up and down. What do? I'm this at the moment. I worked in law for a bit. I'm probably going to do that again, but I don't know. Honestly, I don't really want to do anything. I'm a lazy human being. I'll do whatever works until it doesn't work, and then I'll do something else. More numbers. Why do we need numbers in parentheses to be their own code points? Because you know that this means for the font maintainers, they have to make these separately. Like Emacs is good at finding alternate versions of characters from different fonts if one font doesn't provide a certain character, and browsers are okay at that too, I believe. But like, come on. And then we have more letters, and these are in circles this time. And we've got it in 2 circles as well. And now we come to the first actually useful thing in a while, the box drawing characters. On the old systems, before GUIs existed, before we could do this, it used to be, apparently, that they had to use these. And it's still fun to use them in scripts for terminal applications or for Emacs packages and stuff. Jonathan Blow, rant on Unicode. Can I save this comment? I will pin it. I'll pin it, and then when I disconnect the stream, it'll disappear, and I'll forget about it. But until then, it's there. Oh no, more emojis. Also, check out those. The black square and the white square are different from just the square, the full square and the empty square. That's so weird how they do that. That's I mean, because emojis are technically just they're Unicode code points. You know, that was what they were from the beginning, but it's yeah. Okay, sorry, I'm trying to read your comment from behind this. Right in the witness. Speaking of, okay, we've got all these symbols now. We've got our nuclear symbol. We've got our communist symbol. I'm overheating. It's really hot in here. There's no reason for it to be because my door is leaky. But so it is. But that's fine. This shirt, by the way, it's a 360 Cool Brain shirt. It's literally the best shirt that there is. It's like, you know, the scam from Emperor's New Clothes. It's like that, but real. Do you play games? Sam is asking in chat. Not really. I'm not a gamer per se. I have Minecraft installed just out of principle. I play Terraria every now and again. If those count as real games, right? I play some mobile games, like I play Spider Solitaire on my phone and 2048 every now and then, just to waste time, you know. But I'm not a gamer generally. I prefer playing with software. Counter-Strike, cool. Yeah, I don't know. Everybody has their one game. That's kind of the exception. That's not true, but some of us, some people just play all of the games, and other people play only one or two games. I was never into like realistic or shooter games. My dad was always into that, and I didn't like that. So yeah, when you get older, exactly. Braille. Look at all this. This screen, this pure... Wait, is that even... I thought Braille was supposed to be sideways. Is that... Well, whatever. You know, they can probably figure it out. They don't have to waste all that processing power on vision anyway. I don't know if that's ableist or not. I hope not. I didn't mean it that way. Gotta cover your bases. Ooh, look! These parentheses, or these braces, have a little line there. What is that line called, I wonder? Let's look it up. It is left white curly bracket. Oh, so that's supposed to be an outline this time. Even though it just looks like a normal one with the line. Whatever. I see you're an Emacs guy, but have you tried Vim? Believe it or not, I am using Evil in Emacs. I used NeoVim for over a year, and I kept trying to get it to do things that I wanted it to do. It had a terminal, but... See, this is a terminal built into Emacs. It's called vterm, or it's not built into Emacs, but it's a Emacs package you can download. If I neofetch, you can see all of my information. This is the Emacs logo that I added to neofetch myself. I've got an article about it. Link in the description of my website, and if you go to articles and then tutorials, and then it's somewhere in there. Basically, you just modify your neofetch config file and add in a check for a variable, and you've got to redefine the function. And I found this thing on the internet that lets you keep the old function value of a bash function. Bash is weird with how it deals with quoting and function versus variable slots, but it works. It mostly kind of works. So anyway, I'm pressing J and K right now to go up and down in my history. But yeah, if I go to my scratch buffer, J and K go up and down. If I CC, you can change the line there. So it's actually, yeah, it's modal editing for Emacs. Evil is the main package. There's also Evil commentary, which if I press GCC, it'll comment the line, which I think is pretty cool. Oh, look at that! It's a GCC. It's a different font when it's commented, because my comment font is slanted. It's italicized. So that's doing that. Also, this curtain is sad. Okay. Bloat. The thing about bloat is that it's 2023, and a few months ago it was 2022, and before that it was 2021. And ever since 2015, as a very low or very, very high estimate, bloat hasn't mattered. The base, this is a laptop, this is a ThinkPad. It's like a 2017-ish ThinkPad, I think, that I'm running this off of. So it's one of the newer ones, but it's the oldest of the newer ones. After they got rid of the good old stuff that they used to have, and before they added in the new features. There's also these other ThinkPads that I have now that are pretty. I have one that's folds all the way back as a tablet. This is an L13. Sorry, I'm geeking out over ThinkPads now. I should probably turn this one off. Let me power it off because I'm going on a trip pretty soon and I'm going to take that one with me. But yeah, no. If you've got a 1 terabyte SSD as your boot drive and another terabyte for your home drive and another 8 terabytes for your anime folder, which I do, so the limit of bloat is what's run. It was one is what's running, and 2 is what's. 1 is your number 1 limit is RAM, and if you look at my RAM, I'm mostly okay. I'm at like 60%. This is out of 8 gigs, which should be the standard nowadays. And I'm using a little bit of swap. It's always good to have swap space if you've got room on your drive, which any drive from the last 10 years has plenty of room. Any computer from the last 10 years should have plenty of room. That said, there is one that I found. There is a computer that I've used and have still, or have again. I got rid of it, and then it ended up back in my hands somehow, and I just haven't had a heart to throw it away. But that one only had 32 gigs of onboard storage, which is plenty to run a basic distro off, but it's also got like bad drivers and a weird boot system, so like only a bloated distro like Fedora worked. So see, the thing with bloat, I'm using, this is GNOME right now. See my apps, you can't see my apps here, but you can see the selection screen, right? Does OBS show that? It does. Yes, it does. Basically, this is all bloat. But if I just pull up a kitty here, and I run Vim, okay, that's a boring sound. Vim, this isn't very bloated. It's not super bloated, but like it does have all of these help files. And if we list user share Vim, hang on, if we du, it's if we dash h, in 37 megabytes for user share Vim. Now I don't know about you, but 37 megabytes is a fair amount of stuff for a program that is a tiny editor you use to edit config files. This is just what's built into it. Vim is there shouldn't be that much to it. So Vim itself is already bloated. Now if we do the same thing but for NeoVim, that's only 19 megabytes. How do you figure that? How is NeoVim's basic user share directory smaller than Vim's? I didn't even know that before I tested that, but it is kind of weird, isn't it? Now, if we compare that to user local share Emacs, because I compiled this myself, that is 203 megabytes, which is more. But Emacs can also do more. And NeoVim doesn't do that much more than Vim. It does a couple things, but Vim also kind of has implemented those things since. So they're kind of in an arms race, which is the fractured nature of the ecosystem. That said, NeoVim is definitely better. But Emacs, because see, when I ran a terminal here, see how this cursor is it's a bar cursor. When you do that, and I escape and I go into VI mode, if I go CC, then it doesn't change the line because it's broken, but it should change the line there. But anyway, NeoVim, the cursor was stuck as a block. It has a terminal built in, but I couldn't get the terminal cursor to not be a block. It just wouldn't let me. Emacs, that's child's play. Unicode. Wait, hang on. Character list. There it is. That's where that is. Vim removed a ton of support for old systems like Amiga. Yeah. Okay, cool. Now riddle me this. Who uses... Would you not argue that having support for Amiga in an era where like 2 people have those anymore, is that not bloat? Isn't that like the most bloated thing ever to support a system no one uses? Okay, for the like 2 people who do use Amigas and unironically like them. I don't know. Somebody on Emacs.ch had a VT100, or they actually use a VT100, like the physical device, the terminal. They have one, and that's pretty cool that they have one, and they have to like work around the limitations of that terminal. But it's like everything, all of the terminals we have now just emulate a VT100 anyway, so it really isn't that big of a deal for them specifically. NeoVim debloat, yes. Also, they refactored a lot of the core of what Vim was doing. That's... Oh, look, a star. And these are different emojis. They're bigger than the other ones. We've abandoned the framing device at this point. That's something that you do when you just kind of go off into the weeds. Oh, look. Wait, no, these aren't Latin characters. I can't roast them. You see, I only want to roast my own alphabet, but some of them are just so hard to ignore. Like, for example, Chinese. Why does Chinese have so many characters? I don't know. I could probably look it up, but I don't really care to, because just the fact of it is unbelievable to me. Oh wait, maybe no. Those are maybe that's simplified Chinese. I sure hope it is, because that's not that many. It's like what, a page and a half of Chinese characters. I don't know what they're called in Chinese. I know what the Japanese ones are, because those are kanji. Like these are kanji. Say, probably so many characters because they represent words. Yeah, but then they can represent different words that mean different things because of time and language rot and stuff. So we have. Let me go back. So, just from the Japanese code page, here's the beginning. They've got different quotes and stuff. I really like these quotes, by the way. I use them all the time when I get the chance, because they look cool. So we've got the hiragana, which there's not that many of, and then of course the diacritics or whatever. I'm kind of learning Japanese, like not really, just on the side, just looking stuff up about it. And then katakana, of course, also not that many of, but there's enough of. But those plus the hiragana is kind of silly because they represent syllables, but then the both of these sets of characters represent syllables. But they represent syllables in different contexts. For historical, yes. Okay, so the way that this works is like this. This character right here represents the symbol, the sound ah, the syllable ah. This one is ko. That one is go, because it's got the mark on it. It turns K's into G's, basically. And H's into B's. And I think one other thing it does. Yeah, and SH, this is she, and that's G. And you can kind of see that's got there is a standalone one for it as well. and this one turns H's into P's. That's an oversimplification, but that's literally how it works. So these represent syllables used in native Japanese words, and that's fine. And then these are the katakana, and they represent syllables that are used in loan words, like English words that are post World War II, basically. They will write in katakana here. The problem is that the way that the Japanese language works and its syllable structure, which is kind of baked into the writing system anyway, doesn't allow for all of the ways that letters can go together in English. So you see a lot of compromises, and when you transliterate the katakana back into Romanji, which are what they call the Latin letters, you get it looks like they develop these loan words. They're also used, I'm not sure, they're also used for onomatopoeia, which are sounds that things make that you use the word for the sound. So like a cat, we would say meow, they would say nyan, but they would spell nyan with these and not with these, even though it's a native Japanese word that means meow. So it's kind of the same thing. I don't know the history that well, but that's how it works, and we just have to deal with it. But that's not even the most madness. The most madness is the kanji, because there are so many kanji, so many kanji, and you can tell just looking at them kind of that there's like more simple symbols that they're like made out of. So theoretically, if we were to redesign Unicode from scratch, okay, putting this one that comes first here, that has like a little, it's like that. It's like I can't. Okay. Here we go. If the one that's like this, but backwards, the one that's like this, there we go. This part of it. If we just take that out and make that one symbol, one piece of, we make that one Unicode code point, and then a zero width joiner, and then another radical. Like for this one, for instance, it's two of those, and then a jin, which is, I don't know where it is, but that I only know that one because it's like everywhere, basically. That's not the main version of it. I don't know where it is. It's a really common one because it just means like person from a place. So like a Japanese person would be a Nihonjin, and they have two kanji that mean Nihon for Japan, and then the jin just is a suffix that's tacked on, and that's its own kanji too. And I can't find it now, but basically, if you wanted to, you could make a rule for like creating, for like building these characters out of parts. That would be more computing intensive, which is probably, there it is, there's jin, which is why they didn't do it. But if they did do it, it would be simple, and it would make a little bit more sense in my opinion. It would also probably be a little bit harder to write, because obviously that's way too many characters to put on a keyboard. You would need really tiny keys. So what they do is that's how you say Nihonjin. You just type Nihonjin, and then you press spacebar. By the way, the way this works in Emacs, you can do it. See, that's another thing Emacs has, Vim doesn't. And it's only bloat if you load it into RAM, which it doesn't until you need it. You just set input method, and it's got a whole bunch of different ones, including a latach, which some people like. I've never really gotten into it, but I would probably like it if I had to use it. But anyway, just insert Japanese input method, and it lets you input these characters just the same way as anything else. And if we take a look at that character, it'll wait. Oh, because that's not a question mark, because they have their own version of our question mark. See the difference between these? Like, that's a quote. But see the difference between these question marks? Those are not the same. Complex bugs multiply. Yeah, but if the code, hang on, let me eat cheese ball here. That is the problem with Emacs. Is it does get very complex, but the thing about the complexity of Emacs is most of it is it's all Lisp code, and Lisp is a pretty simple language to write. And to do, you can iterate on it very quickly because of the way, like, if I just Control X, Control E there, that evaluates that expression, which is just asking basically a question mark, and then a character it's a short for, it's the character data type. So it'll print down here what character that is. It'll print the number in base 10 and base 8 and base 16. I think are the bases they use. Am I in? No, I'm not. Okay, back in English mode. It's a whole thing. But with Lisp, the majority. Wait, there we go. Okay, it wasn't letting me scroll. The scrolling was broken. The complexity is conditional. You only really need it sometimes. And what you don't need, you can mostly just leave out. If I go meta x, which is how you run a command, it's like colon kind of. I mean, colon also exists because I have evil mode, but there's all of these different things that you can do supposedly, but most of them are not that big a deal, and if you don't need them, they won't be here for you. For example, there's this game 5x5. It'll take a second to load because I don't have it already. Wait, is it even? Okay, no, for some reason it didn't load. There it goes. See, there's this 5x5 game here. You press space and it it does things. See this? Oh, wait, hang on. There we go. I did win this once, believe it or not. The problem is that once you win it, you don't really remember how you did. But yeah, like that, it took time to load because it wasn't loaded until I needed it. And even when you do need it, it's just there. There's one command, just emit x5, x5, and you can see it kind of has these different commands for doing different parts of it. Like if I can do this, it'll, I don't know. Do you listen to Blade? Bloody, I do not. Are they good? Hi, welcome to the stream, SV, by the way. SV, was it? Yeah, sorry, my setup is wonky right now. Bloody, I don't, are they, will I get, I was going to ask, will I get demonetized if I listen to them, but it doesn't matter because I don't have I don't have monetization anyway. I don't have near enough watch hours because I don't try and my videos are garbage. We're just so have you listen? Okay, Skrillex. I don't really know who these people are. I've heard the name Skrillex somewhere. I'm not. Yeah, okay. You know when you don't know what to do, and so you just kind of laugh awkwardly. I don't have. Let me just install a music player client here real quick. We can listen to it together. EMPV playlist. Let me see if there's a YouTube playlist here. It's what it was it Bladee. Skrillex ceremony. There we go. Oh wait, hang on, it broke for some reason. Let me try that again. EMPV YouTube playlist. Okay, it doesn't know that there's a HTTP exists, so I'm going to go to my scratch buffer and make this work. EMPV. Hang on. I don't know what's going on. I'm searching for... Wait, what am I doing? I don't know what I'm doing. What I know is that EMPV playlist YouTube. Oh, it's YouTube playlist, isn't it? EMPV YouTube playlist. And then we evaluate that, and it doesn't work because URL retrieve internal. Why is that like that? URL retrieve. Because EMPV request is using nil. Why is that using nil? URL params. The full URL is formatted like that. Request format params. Okay. Okay, that one won't go away, so I'll just make it go away. Hang on. Let me just EMPV YouTube search term lady ceremony. Okay, for some reason it thinks that the protocol to use is nil, which is obviously not a good protocol to use. Let me just open a terminal here. This is a different terminal than I was using before, where the cursor doesn't always work, but MPV YT search 1, wait, hang on. No, it's YTDL : YT search 1 : lady ceremony. I'm just trusting you guys this will be good. I don't know. Let's see though. Wait, will it even show up on the stream? I don't know. We'll have to see. Okay, YT search 1 has failed. We'll try YT search 2. That worked last time I tried it. Gotta love it. Gotta love Linux, you know. Here we go. So now it tries the second one, which would... What? Okay. Wait. I gotta check which version of YouTube DL and YTDLP I even have installed. So, by the way, I'm using Bedrock Linux on this machine, which is it's a distribution. It is a distribution that lets you run other distributions on top of it in their own semi-sandbox, which is not a real sandbox as such, which is the point because they can interact with each other, but it keeps them from clobbering each other's files, which is kind of the point. So I'm using Ubuntu's MPV, which is fine. But it's sort of like Linux from scratch, but also not at all. Because Linux from scratch, the idea is you compile everything manually. If you go to... so Brody Robertson, who's a Linux YouTuber, you've definitely heard of him and haven't heard of me. He did a stream series about a year or two ago where he did Linux from scratch, or he got like halfway through it. And it took him ages because you download the source code for every single program in bin here. All of those you have to compile yourself and type the commands in, and it gets pretty tedious. And so he gave up halfway through, which, to be fair, is a long way after I would have given up. But anyway, the Bedrock Linux, so this is an Ubuntu system. My sys prompt thinks it's Ubuntu. If I go to settings, if I open my settings app and I go to the bottom here with about, it will say it's Ubuntu because it really thinks it's Ubuntu. It's convinced almost. But if we do neofetch without the Emacs thing that I've got going, you can see it's actually Bedrock Linux. And Bedrock Linux creates this directory here /bedrock, and there's a whole bunch of, you can basically you can run programs from different distributions as if they were the same. So if I wanted to say paru sytdlp for the YouTube downloader that is good and works and stuff that you're not allowed to talk about on YouTube, but I am anyway because I'm too small for YouTube to care about me. And then I go brl which ytdlp. It will tell me Ubuntu, so we apt remove ytdlp, and MPV might complain because it's the Ubuntu version of MPV and the Arch version of. So now let's try this again then, because it should have the up-to-date version. So if there was a problem with it being out of date, it'll work now. And
yes, sir.
There we go.
Wanna get now, won't be here again. Let the sunshine shine right in. Everywhere we go, they let us in. Smoky hair, it smell like mint. Timberland stomp, go stomp it in. Timberland stomp, go stomp it in. Stomp it in, stomp it in. Hey, stomp, 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 stomp. Change it up, I'm taking too far. Some go home and some go hard. Velvet sky, I'm a velvet star. Pull up in a black painted car.
Okay, that works.
Velvet sky, I'm a velvet star.
Pull up in a black painted car.
It's all the line paradise.
Cool.
It calls on me. The
Yeah, this is a
rising. Yeah, rose gold rain. Nothing's left.
All right, let's keep scrolling through
It's
finding
been
here
too
for a bit.
real. It's all the line paradise. It calls on me.
Now,
Take
there
the
weren't that
lead, pick a
many
stick.
Chinese
When two stars on me, blue
characters, which makes me
horizons.
suspect
Playing
that
mind games. It's been real.
they actually did.
It's been too real.
They doubled this up, so the kanji and the Chinese name called before that are the same.
What I got now won't be here again. Let the sunshine shine right in. Everywhere we go, they let us in. Smoky hair and smell like mint. Timberland stomp, go stomp it in. Timberland stomp, go stomp it in. Stomp it in, stomp it in. Stomp, 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 stomp. Change it up, I'm taking too far. Some go home and some go hard. Velvet sky, I'm a velvet star. Pull up in a black painted car. Velvet sky, I'm a velvet star. Pull up in a black painted car. Baby, you're my favorite game. Violence, fire, love and flames. None of us will ever be the same. Look in the mirror, I won't take the blame. I just wanna sit in a sacred place. Watch goldfish and silver rain. Watching the stars and get drunk all day. Get drunk all day, get drunk all day.
Except the line paradise. It calls on me. The fall uprising.
So, do you guys hear that like through my speakers reflected back to me? Because I'm getting the audio here from my phone.
The line paradise, it calls on me.
Nice.
The fall uprising.
I swear that's coincidence. It actually is.
Nothing's left in our waste. It's been
Scroll
real.
the screen some of
It's
this.
been too real.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Is that too fast? This is too fast. I increase my delay speed. Oh, I'm actually got past the kanji. That's I thought the day was in the phone. They sound double. Okay, good.
But when you guys are together, you don't ever say the mood or anything.
Yeah, I
There is
don't.
one, you know?
I'm no audio master or anything. I only play acoustic instruments. Oh look, it's gone. It stopped. If anybody has another song request, just put it in chat, I guess, is what we're doing here. Let's see, it's 10:30 in the morning for me right now. Been streaming for, what, an hour and a half or so? Thanks, no problem. Let's see what else we got in the Unicodes here. Those are fun. Look at those little guys there. I don't have anything to say about them, but those there you go. All right. What are these? They look like maybe they're Korean or something. Your West Coast. I am the Westest Coast. I am so west up the West Coast that the ocean is south of me. Get your globes out and figure that one out now, don't you? Well, this is relaxing. This is pretty chill, honestly. I'm happy. I'm happy that somebody showed up to my stream. Everybody who's listening, all three of you right now, I'm really happy. Santa Barbara, never even. Nope. Way. I don't know. I don't even know how far off that is because that's so far away from me. Yeah, like I said, it is technically America. And it is also literally America, but not. Americans don't think about it. Nobody else really thinks about it that much. But it is a place that exists that is a place just like any other, oddly enough. Which isn't odd at all. Ooh. Okay, some of those look Roman and some of those look Chinese. I don't know where those are from, but it's cool nonetheless. Wait, what? You're not Alaska or Hawaii or Guam. One of those, yeah. Definitely one of those. I'm interested that you would group the three of those together, because like Alaska is like way up there and Hawaii is like kind of down here and Guam is like there, right? I don't even know where Guam is. I guess I'm not from Guam. But because like Guam is not a state, but Alaska and Hawaii are, so I mean, is that how like normal people think of those places as all like kind of the same? Hey, he says, hey, hi, Hawaii. Oh, you're from Hawaii then, that's cool. Good for you. No, I'm from Alaska. I'm in Alaska currently. Is that a YouTube drawer icon? No, you're just weird. Okay. You're not Hawaiian style. Okay. See, I always worry that I'm not going to make sense to people. That's so crazy, bro. It's really not. Alaska, this part, ooh, Miami. Yeah, that is literally the furthest away you can go, isn't it? Just about, yeah. That's impressive. Yeah, no, Alaska is honestly, it's pretty normal. I mean, yeah, I was, so I don't know. I was born in Alaska, so I don't know what counts as normal. But in my opinion, like everywhere else I've been, it didn't seem that different. Because like people think that we live in igloos and it's always dark and stuff. And up north it is, but like the bottom part of Alaska where I am, it's literally like less extreme than Iowa. Okay, like. It rarely goes below 10. In the winter, it's never like below 10 degrees Fahrenheit. In the summer, it like hardly ever goes above 80. And it's usually hovers around 70 in the summer and like 20 in the winter. It's not that big a deal. And the internet is decent, as you can see, because I'm streaming from it. Okay, this is an interesting part of Unicode here. They have a Google Play icon, they have Dropbox, they have Google Drive, they have IMDb. IMDb has made it into Unicode, also Refrigerator Senpai. But you guys are just so rare. Aren't things expensive? Yeah, I guess everything is a little bit more expensive. But the thing is, like, if you don't have anything to compare it to, you kind of forget. Like, it doesn't register how expensive. Because, yeah, like, a lot of stuff is imported, but the main thing, really, I guess on average, people, the demographics are kind of wonky because of just the history and the nature of the state, but generally the consumer class is richer than in most places, so the prices cancel out. Like it's not perfect. We've got the same economic nastiness that's going on in the rest of the world. Is happening here too, and different people will have different opinions on all that. But it's not. Do you get that oil money check? Yes. Last year it was like $3,000. So that's the thing. It's called the PFD, the Permanent Fund Dividend. That is a real thing that happens. You do have to apply for it. You go to the government's got a website for it, and you have to prove that, or you have to say that you've lived in Alaska for, I forget if it's 1 year or 10 years, something like that. And now Alaska's the only place you live, and you haven't been out of the state for more than 90 days or whatever, and you've got a permanent residence here, and you have to give the contact information of 2 other people who were vouched for you being here all the time. And if you know 2 people, that's not a big deal. I've never actually, I've only filled it out a couple times because I'm a young person, so I don't know if you can lie on that. I wouldn't bother trying, though. It's not worth it. If you lie and then they call you out on it, if they can't verify your contacts, what are they going to do? They won't give you the free money is the thing. And I don't know about you, but I like free money. Free money is nice. But yeah, the whole issue of the PFD is it's a weird one, because politicians up here, they're all about, oh, well, I'll save the PFD. But I'll raise the PFD. And then when they're talking about the opposition, they'll say, oh, but they want to take away your PFD. And the thing to realize is that nobody wants to stop the PFD. Everybody likes it. Nobody doesn't like free money. Okay? So it's honestly kind of tiring to hear about it, because it's that's interesting also that you knew that it was an oil money check, because up here, some people don't know what it is, that the fact that it's from the oil industry. But it's not. But I mean, it is. Do you splurge yours or treat it as income? I personally stick it in savings, so that I can pay for rent and stuff out of there. Spend some time in Yellowknife. Cool. Tell you about Alaska free money. Good to know. Good to know. All these symbols are, they're not emojis, they're just pictograms. Also less. Is that a thing from a thing? I gotta look that up. Let's see if that's a thing from a thing. Remember what the stream was about. And it doesn't know what it is. It can't find it. It doesn't, Oh! I know what's happening. This part of Unicode is not reserved or taken up. Okay, hey, bye Sam, thanks. No, Mike, or Mitch, the cheese balls are not gone. I've got all these, and I've got all these. I'm just eating them slowly because I'm talking too much. Now these characters are not defined in the Unicode spec. These are from my font, which is a nerd font. The deal with nerd fonts, if we go to nerd fonts, nerdfonts.com, they are actually, there's a whole bunch of various character sets that are added on to different things, like the Powerline fonts and Font Awesome, and the dev icons and the weather icons, and the Google icons and the code icons, and they combine them all into this this array of symbols that there's a whole bunch of. And and that's nerd fonts. And the nerd fonts are really nice because you just install it, and then it has all of the fonts that you want. All of the symbols that you could ever want. So Unicode only has like one battery symbol, or 2 or 3 battery symbols. It's got the full battery, which is green, and the empty battery, which is gray with a little bit of red at the bottom where it's empty. And oh no, my Emacs, I'm scrolling, but it's lagging. There it goes. Oh, because it's got to render all of these broken symbols. Okay, I'm just going to spacebar through this. E9. Here we go. There's some more. Maybe it's just. How's my RAM doing? My RAM is at like 65-70%. I gotta go back to work too. Appreciate the stream. You should do them more often. Thanks, Mitch. I will try to do them more often. Let me check something. Do I have any other viewers? Because if I don't, I'm just gonna cancel this. Concurrent viewers, 1 or 3 or whoever many. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna end it there. And I was at F00. I was at the F00 range, so. I will yoink that, and I will come back, and I will see you guys next time. Bye. End stream.